Hey, Chris Ferdinandi here with another Vanilla.js quick tip. Let's get into it. The class list API provides a simple way to add, remove, toggle, and check for classes on an element. In this example, I have some classes to add background color, provide a text decoration, and style text color. And I also have this sandwich element that has the tuna class that gives it a background color of blue, and the mayo class that gives it a color of white. And if I were to jump over to the browser, you can see that's exactly how it looks. What if we wanted to update the classes on this element with JavaScript? We can do that with the class list API. That's what it was built for. And so I'm going to use the document query selector method to get my sandwich element. And then the first thing I want to do is add the turkey class to change its color to saddlebag brown. So on my element, I'm going to call the class list object and then the add method. And I'm going to pass in the name of the class that I want to add. You don't have to add the dot. In fact, if you do, it won't work. You just pass in the class name itself. If I were to jump over to the browser and reload, you can see that now my element is brown. If I were to view it in the inspector, you can see that turkey class is now on that element. Of course, the tuna class that gives it the background of blue is still there too. But because turkey comes later in the cascade, it's winning out, and that's the color that shows up. But we probably also want to remove that tuna class. And for that, we can use the class list remove method. I'm again going to call the class list object on my element, and then I'm going to use the remove method. I'm going to pass tuna in as the class to remove. And if I jump back over here and reload, you can see that now the tuna class is gone. We just have mayo and turkey. One other thing we can do is toggle a class on or off. So for example, let's say we wanted to toggle the tomato class, which is going to add a text decoration of underlined. The way the toggle method works, if the class is already there, it gets removed. And if it's not there, it gets added. Here we are going to call lm class list, and then we're going to use the toggle method and pass in tomato as the class that we want to toggle. And if I jump over here, you can see that now our element has an underline. And if I were to go in the console and paste this, I can toggle that class on and off. And you can see it returns a Boolean telling you what the current state is. So in this case, it's false because that class is no longer there. If I run it again, now it's true because that class has been toggled on. Finally, we can use the class list contains method to check if an element has a class or not. And this is going to return a Boolean. So on my element, I am going to call the class list object and then run the contains method. And I'm going to pass in mayo as the class to check for. And if mayo is there, I'm going to log add mayo into the console. So if I jump over here and reload, you can see add mayo shows up. And if I were to look at this element in the inspector, you can see that it does in fact have the mayo class on it. If you like this video, please don't forget to like and subscribe, and maybe even share it with someone else who you think might enjoy it. You can also get my daily developer tips newsletter over at gomakethings.com, where every weekday I share a new tip, trick, tool, or Vanilla.js snippet to help you build a simpler and more resilient web. Thanks so much for watching.